It's Rashi from Stretch and Flow. I'm going to offer a 30-minute full body stretch and flow. It's beautiful to be doing this one in the morning, but you can do this at any time during the day. And on our YouTube channel, you'll find there's a variety of flows, different parts of your body, but also varying lengths. And so today I thought I'd just do a 31. Often we don't get a chance to maybe go to an hour's class or even have the space at home to do a full hour's practice. The point of yoga is to bring union to body, soul and mind and step off the mat in a place of beautiful harmony. And we can do that whether that be 5 minutes, 10 minutes or half an hour or an hour. So really enjoy this beautiful flow. I'm going to talk about a topic that is often discussed, and that's self-love, loving yourself. So as we practice today with the breath and the mindfulness, as we finish, I hope you come to a point of beautiful harmony in your body, soul and mind. So let's start in a seated posture. Get nice and comfortable. So you might just want to rock side to side or even backwards and forwards. And then find that sweet spot. Bring stillness. And if it's comfortable for you, I invite you to shut the eyes down. If shutting the eyes isn't comfortable, just take a soft gaze down on the ground. And first and foremost, come into your breath. So without even trying to change it, to make it longer or even shorter, just notice it just as it is. Not forcing, not pushing, not striving. Just let it be as it is. And as you bring awareness to your breath, you might notice it subtly change. It might get longer, it might get deeper. It might even get a little steadier. Let the hands rest in a way that is comfortable for you, whether that be on your lap, on your thighs, your knees, or on the ground. And sit up nice and tall, almost like someone's gently pulling you from the crown of the head. But instead of being rigid, let there be a softness in the front ribs. So relax the shoulders down, soften the skin around the jaw, the eyes. And simply notice your inhale and your exhale. And as we're just focusing on our breath, perhaps set a beautiful intention. Maybe something that is of self-love or kindness and compassion to yourself. It might be a quality along those lines that you want to practice in your own life. For me, something like making space each and every day just to do something for myself. So once you set your intention, let's take a deep inhale in, almost like you're breathing in your intention. And then let the exhale just follow. Feel the groundedness as you exhale. Let's do a couple more breaths. Inhale, noticing the upliftment on the breath in. Exhale, the groundedness. And one more. Breathing in and breathing out. If the eyes are shut, just gently open them. Relax the shoulders. Interlace the fingertips, palms facing up. On the breath in, bring the hands up to your heart space. Keep the elbows nice and wide. And as you exhale, push the palms away, round the back. Drop the gaze down. Breathing in, reaching all the way up. Feel that first stretch. If you're doing this in the morning, the first stretch. And as you exhale, take a stretch to one side. Doesn't matter which way you go. Breathing in, you're rising up again. The eye gaze can follow. And as you exhale over to the other side, empty the breath. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Feel the lengthening in the spine. And as you exhale, as you split the fingertips, take some little wrist rotations as you reach the arms around, behind you. Interlace the fingertips. Take a big breath in, squeezing the shoulder blades, leaning back, perhaps turning the gaze up. And as you exhale, releasing the arms out to the side, take the rotations in the other way of the wrist, rounding the back, interlacing the fingertips at the front, and then guiding everything back. So sitting up nice and tall, hands, palms facing up, resting at the navel. Let's take a deep inhale in first. And as you exhale, just drop the shoulders a little. Let's do one more round. Inhale, hands up to your heart space, elbows wide. Exhale, push the palms away, round the back, drop the gaze. Breathing in, rising all the way up. Maybe add a little back bend, bring the arms over the crown. And as you exhale, a stretch over to one side, empty the breath. Breathing in, rising back up again. And breathing out over to the other side as you empty the breath. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Exhale, arms reach around. You can take those little wrist rotations if that feels nourishing for your body. Interlace the fingertips behind you. Take a breath in, squeeze the shoulder blades, lean back, turn the gaze up. And as you exhale, releasing the arms out to the side, taking those wrist rotations, interlacing the fingertips, sweep the arms up through center, adding that little back bend on the breath in. And as you breathe out, bring the left fingertips in front, the right behind. Take a breath in to lengthen. And as you breathe out, take a gaze maybe over that right shoulder or even just part of the way. Another inhale to lengthen. Exhale, maybe twisting a little more. Let everything come back to face the front of the mat. Let both arms release up or up and over. And then as you exhale, take it on the other side. Right fingertips in front, left behind. Inhaling to lengthen. And as you exhale, twisting, gazing over that left shoulder. Another breath in to lengthen. And as you breathe out, maybe twisting a little more. Let everything come to face the front of the mat. And then mindfully make your way onto all fours. So knees and hands. Knees are hip width distance. Palms are shoulder width distance. You can dig the toes in or just flatten the feet off. And just for the first few breaths, just take some rotations or rocks backwards and forwards with the hips side to side, or some circular motions. Keep the eye gaze down, releasing any tension from the back of the neck. And maybe how you love yourself is how you teach others to love you. Notice if you make space in your day and in your week just to do something loving and kind and nurturing for yourself. Or if your weeks go past and you haven't actually done anything for you. Bring the rocks or the rotations back to stillness. On the breath in, push the waist back as you gaze up. And on the breath out, rounding and arching the back, rippling the spine up. Notice any tender spots along the way. Breathing in, waist goes back, gaze goes up. And breathing out, reversing the stretch, rounding and arching. One more in your own breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Bring the spine back to neutral. Slide the right foot to the back of the mat. Stay on the ball of the foot. And then the left fingertips, slide them to the front of the mat. Keep the eye gaze down. You might need a gentler practice this morning, and you can stay with that right foot grounded, the left hand grounded. Or if you want a little more, engage the core and then lift the limbs up, extending that right leg behind you at hip height, the left fingertips forward. Gaze is down. Push the mat away with that bottom hand and then give that right ankle and left wrist a little rotation one way and then the other way. Hold it for one more breath. Pull the limbs away from each other, whether they're up in the air or down on the ground. And as you exhale, drop everything down onto the mat. Walk the hands back towards the knees. Sweep the arms all the way up. Take a big breath in. Let the palms kiss. And as you exhale, right palm to right heel. You can touch the heel, give it a tap, otherwise as far as you can go. Inhale, the right arm reaches up, gaze can follow. Exhale, over to the other side, left palm to left heel. Let's do one more on each side. Breathing in, reaching up, lengthening. Breathing out, reaching behind you. And one more. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, both arms reach up again. And as you exhale, take a swan dive down on your mat. Come onto your finger mounds, creep them to the front of the mat, and then melt the heart down as you push the hips up. Your forehead, if it reaches the mat, just let it land on the mat. Feeling that deeper stretch in the spine. With each exhale, let the heart melt down a little more. One more breath. And then gently walking the hands back, making your way back onto all fours. Once you're there, take one cat-cow curl. Breathing in and breathing out. Come back to a neutral spine. This time slide the left foot back, landed on its toes to the back of the mat. The right fingertips come to the front of the mat. Feel that initial stretch and then decide, is this enough, or engage the core and lift the limbs up. Right fingertips reach forward, left foot pushes back at hip height. Gaze is down, push the mat away with that bottom hand. You can either stay in stillness or give that left ankle and right wrist a little rotation one way and then the other way. One more breath. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, let everything land back down onto the mat. Gently walk the hands back to the knees again. Sweep the arms all the way up or up and over. Feel the heart opening. And as you exhale, let the body fall forward. Push the arms back, squeeze the shoulder blades. Let's do a couple more. Breathing in, rising up or up and over. And as you breathe out, the body falls forward and the arms push back. And one more. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up again. And as you exhale, take a swan dive down at your mat. You can either stay on all fours, move into puppy pose, or dig the toes and lift the hips up for downward facing dog. Just softening the knees a little. Sit bones are up towards the ceiling. And with your eye gaze, it can be up towards the navel or the gap between the legs. Widen through the collarbones. You might just want to walk one knee at a time. If you're taking this flow in the morning, maybe just bend the knees a little. Push the upper body back towards the thighs. Maybe our greatest responsibility in life is to show ourselves kindness and self-love and to really believe that we are enough as we are. Take one more breath. If you're coming from your mat, we'll meet you in ragdoll. If you're coming from downward facing dog, just gently stroll up towards your palms. Bend the knees, interlace opposite palms to opposite elbows. Drop the crown. Feet are hip width distance, toes pointing forward. And just check in with that lower back. If it needs a little bit of love and care, then bend the knees a little more. Crown of the head is heavy, and maybe just take that rock side to side or even backwards and forward. Hold it for one more breath. Drop the hands down onto the mat. On your inhale, a halfway lift, the spine shoots forward, the collarbones widen. And as you exhale, a forward fold, empty the breath completely. Inhale, ground with the feet. Let's rise all the way up. Greet your day if you're taking this in the morning. And as you exhale, hands to your heart space, empty the breath. Breathing in, rising up or up and over. And as you breathe out, take a swan dive down to the mat, bending the knees along the way if you need to. A halfway lift on the inhale, a forward fold on the exhale. Inhale, rising all the way up again. This time interlace the fingertips at the top. And as you exhale, take a stretch over to one side. You can either keep the arms straight or bend the elbows, you choose. Breathing in, arms reach up. The eye gaze can be in front or turn the gaze up. Over to the other side, empty the breath. One more on each side. Breathing in, rising up. Breathing out, taking the stretch. And last one, inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, reach the arms all the way up again. And as you exhale, take that swan dive down to your mat, empty the breath. A halfway lift on the breath in. And as you breathe out, place the hands on the mat, soften the knees, step the right foot back. Get nice and stable, maybe angle that back foot. And once you feel that stability, breathe the arms up for warrior one. So really angle the feet, especially that back foot, so the hips are facing the front of the mat. Soften the shoulders, gaze in front, length through the torso, and a little lunge with that left knee. On the breath in, let's rise up, straighten the legs, reach the arms up. And as you breathe out, bending the elbows, lunging with that left knee, and pushing the palms out to the side at shoulder height. Inhale, rising up, take a breath in. Exhale, bending, lunging, arms push away. Two more. Breathing in and breathing out. And one more. Inhalation. Keep the mind present. And exhalation. On your next inhale, sweep the arms all the way up again. And as you exhale, opening out to warrior two. You might need to adjust the feet so that the hips feel stable. Once you're stable, just drop the shoulders. Maybe let's shrug them up to the ears on the inhale and a big letting go, softening down. One more like that. Breathing in and breathing out. Flip the front palm. Let's reverse. Reach that left arm up and over, really grounding with the feet. And as you exhale, softening everything back to warrior two. A little lunge with that front knee. Let's do a few more. Breathing in and breathing out. And one more. Inhaling and exhaling. Turn the left toe so you're side on your mat. And just let the hands fall down by your side. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears. Maybe take a rotation on the exhale as you roll them back or forward and down. And one more in the same direction or the opposite direction. Notice any tender spots. Remember your intention that you set at the beginning of the class. Ground with the feet. On the breath in, sweep the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, come into your squat. Bring the hands to your heart space. So dropping the tailbone down. Keep length through the crown. Inhale, use your leg strength, reach all the way up. The eye gaze can follow. Exhale, sinking down. Good, and let's do two more. Breathing in, really feeling the stretch as you reach up. And on the exhale, notice where you're feeling it in the hips, the legs, length through the crown. And one more. Inhaling in. And exhaling out. Let's hold this one just for a breath or two longer. If you feel like you need some fluidity, just as you sink the tailbone down, maybe just take a gentle rock of the hips side to side. Keep the shoulders nice and soft. One more breath. Arms reach up, take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, turn the left toes to face the front of the mat as you open back to warrior two. Flip the front palm, let's reverse. Reach up and over on the breath in. And as you breathe out, windmilling the hands down, framing that front foot. Pivot on the ball of the back foot. Glance to the front of the mat, take an inhale. And as you exhale, step forward and we'll meet in ragdoll. You can either just let the arms hang heavy rocking from side to side, or you can interlace opposite palms to opposite elbows. Make sure that crown of the head is nice and heavy. And perhaps you've been criticizing yourself for years, paying attention that perhaps that hasn't worked. So my encouragement is to try and approve of yourself and see what happens, see what shifts. Love yourself, forgive yourself, and be true to yourself. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Feet are hip width distance, and on your inhale, a halfway lift. On your exhale, a forward fold. On your breath in, let's rise all the way up. Let the palms meet. And as you exhale, hands to your heart space, empty the breath. Breathing in, reaching up or up and over. And as you breathe out, that swan dive down to your mat. Bend your knees if you need to. A halfway lift on the breath in. A forward fold on the breath out. Inhale, let's rise all the way up again. This time make a pistol grip when you reach the top. On the breath in, pull the arms over the head, leaning back. And as you exhale, soften the knees, drop the tailbone, and reach the arms in front as you drop the gaze. Knees are pushing forward. Again, use your leg strength, rise all the way up or up and over, maybe a deeper back bend. Exhale, sinking down, knees pushing forward, and one more. Breathing in and breathing out. On your next inhale, reach the arms all the way up, split the fingertips. As you exhale, a swan dive down to your mat, empty the breath. A halfway lift on the breath in. And as you breathe out, placing the hands on the mat, bending the knees. This time the left foot steps back. Get that stability, angle the feet, and then breathe the arms up for warrior one on the other side. Making those little micro adjustments so the hip bones are facing the front of the mat. Press into the back foot, press into the front foot, and that right knee has a little lunge. On the inhale, reach the arms up, straighten that front leg. And as you exhale, bending the elbows, lunging with that right knee, push the palms out to the side. Let's do a few more. Breathing in, notice your breath. And breathing out. Two more. Inhaling in. And exhaling out. And one more. Breathing in. And let the breath go. This time on your next inhale, reach the arms all the way up, straighten the front leg. And as you exhale, opening out to warrior two. Really dropping the shoulders, adjusting the feet as you need to. Flipping that front palm and then reaching it up and over on the breath in. And as you breathe out, softness, warrior two. A couple more. Breathing in. And breathing out. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. This time turn the right toes to your side on. Let the arms just fall down by your side again. Press the feet into the mat. And take that like a shrug of shoulders or a little rotation one way. And then the other way. Dropping them down. Keep length through the crown of the head. On the breath in, reach the arms up again. Interlace the fingertips. And as you exhale, lunge with the right knee. And then bring the arms over to the right. The left leg is straight. You can come onto the heel of that left foot if you want to stretch in that inner left thigh as well. Otherwise, you can just keep that foot flat. Breathing in, lengthening, back to center, over to the other side, lunging with the left leg. The right leg is straight, arms to the left. One more on each side. Breathing in and breathing out. And one more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, both arms reach up. And as you exhale, turn the right toes to face the front of the mat, opening back to warrior two. Flip the front palm, let's reverse, reach up and over on the breath in. And as you breathe out, windmilling the hands down, framing that front foot, take that pivot on the ball of the back foot, widen through the collarbones, glance to the top of the mat, breathe in. And as you breathe out, step forward and let's come back into ragdoll. If the breath has become a little choppy, just slow it down. And maybe take a moment of contemplation. What if you devoted the rest of this year to perhaps loving yourself more, whatever that means? Maybe it's nourishing yourself with food. Maybe it's taking some time out. Maybe it's kinder self-talk. Take one more breath. On the inhale, a halfway lift. On the exhale, a forward fold. Empty the breath. On the breath in, let's sweep the arms all the way up. Make a prayer at the top. The eye gaze can follow. And as you exhale, softly bringing the hands to your heart space, empty the breath. Inhale, rising up or up and over. And as you exhale, take a swan dive down to your mat, empty the breath. A halfway lift on the breath in. And as you breathe out, place the hands on the mat. Let the knees fall the width of the mat. Two big toes together, dropping hips to heels, and extend the arms in front as you lower the head down. If your head needs a block underneath it or a cushion, go ahead and place one. And just take a moment here to ground. Keep the collarbones wide. Feeling the support of your mat. Feel that little pull in the hip flexors. You're breathing in and you're breathing out. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then gently walk the hands over to the left side of the mat. Place the right palm on top. Pull the palms to the left and let the hips move to the back of the mat. You feel a stretch down the right side of the body. Gaze is low, body is low too. Hold it for 1 more breath. And then gently walk the hands back through center, over to the other side. Left palm on top of right, palms pull to the right, the hips move to the back of the mat. Feeling the stretch down the other side of the body. Breathing in and breathing out. And then gently walk the hands back through center. Place them shoulder width distance. Press into the palms and start to lift the hips up. Scoot the knees back to hip width distance. Let's take 1 cat-cow curl here. Inhale, the waist goes back and the gaze goes up. And as you exhale, rounding and arching the back. Come back to a neutral spine. Keep the left hand on the mat. Breathe the right arm all the way up. And as you exhale, thread it all the way through. So landing that right shoulder and that right ear on the mat, pressing firmly. The left palm can come to the front of the mat. You can keep that left palm flat or come onto the finger mounds. Really pressing into that right shoulder, relaxing that right palm, and then stretching that left palm forward. Slow down the breath here a little as we slow the practice down. It's a beautiful twist in the spine, a shoulder stretch. Hold it for 1 more breath. And then gently slide that left palm back underneath the shoulder. Press firmly. The right arm reaches all the way up. The gaze can follow. And as you exhale, drop the hand on the mat. Take 1 cat-cow curl here. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Come back to neutral. Right hand stays on the mat. This time the left arm reaches up, opening the left side of the body. Gaze can go up too. And as you exhale, threading it all the way through to the right, landing that left shoulder, that left ear down, pressing in firmly, and then extending the right palm or the right finger mounds to the front of the mat, feeling the stretch down that right side of the body. Keep the breath steady, keep the mind present. Pressing into that left shoulder, feeling the twist in the other direction. Hold it for one more breath. Right palm comes back underneath the shoulder, press firmly. The left arm reaches all the way up. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, dropping the hand down onto the mat. Let's take a final cat-cow curl. Let's go a little bit slower. So on the breath in, as the waist goes back and the gaze goes up, take a pause, feel the stretch. And as you exhale, rounding and arching the back, belly button to spine, take a pause at the end of the exhale. Come back to a neutral spine. Sweep the ankles out to the side and come down onto your sit bones. If you prefer to finish your practice lying down, then I invite you to lie down as well. But just for the YouTube video, we're going to finish seated. So just take a gentle rock again, maybe backwards and forwards, maybe side to side. Sweep the arms all the way up, take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, left palm on right knee or thigh, right hand sweeps behind you. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, feel the twist. Gazing over that right shoulder, keep the jaws soft. Bring everything back to face the front of the mat. The arms reach up or up and over. And then right palm on left knee or thigh, left hand sweeps behind. Inhale to lengthen. And as you exhale, gazing over that left shoulder. Breathing in and breathing out. Bring everything back to face the front of the mat. And then gently just bring the soles of the feet together. If this isn't nourishing for your hips, you can bring the feet a little straighter in front of you. If you want a little more, bring the feet towards you. Knees are pushing out to the side. Cradle your toes, interlacing the fingertips with your palms. And on the breath in, pull the toes towards you, lengthen, take a big inhale. And with a flat back, like you're hinging from the hips, leaning forward just as much as you want to feel the stretch, and then drop the gaze. Soften the back of the neck. With each inhale, just a subtle lengthening, and with each exhale, maybe just coming down a little lower. My encouragement is to really be less concerned about gaining approval or love from anyone else. Be more concerned about validating, approving, and loving yourself. Hold it for one more breath. And then just float the belly button to the spine, engage the core, gently start to lift the spine back up. Bring the knees back together. And walk the hands just back behind you. Give your shoulders plenty of room. And just release any tension off your spine just by rocking the knees to one side and maybe gazing over the opposite shoulder. Use your core, bring the knees all the way up, and then rock them over to the other side, gazing over the other shoulder. Maybe do one more on each side, or if you feel to linger on one side a little longer, go ahead. Inhale first. Exhale. And then last one. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, bring everything back to center, and then sit in a way that's nourishing for you. That might be cross-legged, it might be legs in front, it might be on your knees or over any props if you have them. Sit up nice and tall. Keep the left hand down by the left side. Sweep the right arm up. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, sweep it over to the left. Feel the stretch, and then reach in front of you all the way over to the right. Land the hand down. Inhale, the left arm reaches up. over to the right. Feel the stretch. Reach in front as you lean forward to the left. Drop it down. One more on each side. Right arm comes up. Breathe in. Exhale, take the stretch. Reach forward. Land it down. And last one. Left arm reaches up. Take a breath in. On the exhale, take the stretch. Lean forward. Both hands down by your side. Shut the eyes down if it feels comfortable. Place one hand on your belly, maybe one hand on your heart. And then just softly pay attention to your breath again. Sit up nice and tall, widen through the collarbones. And see if you can even just slow the breath, even if it's just 1% more. Notice any tension in any parts of your body, maybe taking that quick body scan, and then soften those parts, the jaw, the neck, the shoulders. And slow down your breath. Remind yourself of your intention. Feel free to stay here for as long as you like, or as long as time as you have. If you feel like it's time to finish, just bring attention back to your breath again. It's time to love yourself, respect yourself, admire yourself, forgive yourself, accept yourself, nurture yourself. Today's the day. As we bring our hands to our heart space in prayer or placing them over our heart, let's take a deep inhale in, a long exhale out. Remember your intention as you step off the mat, and that beautiful saying which says, do you want to meet the love of your life? Simply look in the mirror. Namaste. Thank you, beautiful souls. Have the most beautiful day, and may you be blessed in all that you do. See you next time.